And we're back, and this time I want to talk about some of the file structures and the workflow when you're creating drawings or creating templates. And how do we save? What do we save? So what we've got here is just a little bit of a workflow. So we're going to first start off with a command. So if you want to create a brand new drawing, starting from scratch, right, we're going to use the new command or something of that sort. So we might use the little plus sign. That's going to start a new drawing. And then we have the ability most of the time to choose our template. And the template file is a DWT. All right, so that's the file extension for a template file. And again, that template file holds all the presets. It has any predefined colors, predefined settings, predefined title blocks, the look and feel of your workspace, and all of that will be preset. So once you choose that, it'll convert that template file into a drawing file. And this is now then becoming your working file. And in your working file, that's where you're going to create your model or your drawing. You're going to do your annotation, you're going to put dimensions, you're going to design whatever you're designing. That's the file that you work in. After that, you're going to save using the save command, and there's a couple of different ways to do that, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And then when you save that drawing file, you have the option to save as a template file if you wish to, but primarily we're going to be using the drawing file. So once you start with a template and make a drawing out of it, you're going to save it most likely as a drawing file. Once we have a drawing file saved, if we want to come back and work on it, well, then we're going to use the open command. And again, there's a couple different ways to use the open command and start the open command. But basically, after you activate the open command, you're going to then look for that particular drawing file that you had saved. Once you choose that drawing file becomes your working file again. And after those modifications have been made, or you finish up the drawing, or maybe you just don't have enough time and you need to save it again, we invoke the save command. And you will most likely save that as a drawing one more time so that that file still exists. You can also take that drawing file, should other changes be made to it. It is possible to save it as a template file. You can actually save to a number of different file types, but these are going to be the two most common. All right, so but primarily once you're working on a drawing, you want to keep it as a drawing file. Now let's say that we want to change some of the presets in our template file. Well, if that's the case, then we're going to use our open command, and we're going to go into find our template. And our DWT file is what we will choose. And because we're using the open command and choosing the template file, our working file will actually be the template file. Okay, so this is very important because whatever changes you make in this current working file, those changes will affect any future drawing that you start that template with. So in other words, if I make a change to this template to change the color from white to blue, anytime I start using a new drawing using that template, all the line work and stuff will be blue instead of white. Okay, so whatever changes you make here, very important that they are deliberate changes. Okay, because it will affect all your future drawings. After you're done making those changes, you hit the save, or you use the save command, and you save it as your template file, right? We want this to be our template file, so that next time when we possibly start a new drawing, right, our template file has now changed with our updated settings, and then we can create our drawing. So let's take a look at this really quick. There's a couple of different ways to do this. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but there is a lot of different ways to create new drawings. So like I said, we can create on the plus sign. We can go up to the very top corner here and go new drawing, and you can see that there is a little keyboard shortcut that says Q new. And if you type Q new, that'll actually also invoke starting a brand new drawing. Also going through the application menu, we can start a brand new drawing. Okay, or in this case, a sheet set, which we'll talk about another time. So a lot of different options. So if I type in Q new and hit enter, what I get is this. And this is pretty much the same thing. No, it's not going to let me jump in back there, but this is pretty much all of the same templates that we had in the initial list. You'll notice that there are two text fields and drop-down fields that we have at the bottom of our screen. The first one says file name, and the second one is files of type. So it's important to note that drawing template is selected. And if this is not selected, you're going to have just drawing, and that will automatically change what we see in our folder. So even though we are in AutoCAD's template folder, where all the templates reside, because we're looking specifically for drawing type files, we've only got two in here that we could open up, and this would not be what we wanted to do. So I want to go back and change this to a template file because I am looking for a template file, and I'm going to say we want our ACAD, and I'm going to click open to open that particular file. And when we open that file, there we go. You notice the tab over here says drawing number 5. Up below it says drawing, right? Drawing number 5.dwg. So that goes back to choosing a template file and then having it turn into a drawing file, right? So that's one way. We can also just go right up top here. And that should open up. Why is this taking so long? That should take the same information. Oh, there it is. Sorry about that. It jumped onto another monitor and I didn't see it. Basically takes us to the same exact screen. Okay, so I'm going to cancel that because we don't need another drawing. Once I'm working on my drawing, or if I have a particular favorite template that I'm using all the time, what I can do is I can save that template as kind of an automatic template to use, right? So it won't allow me to, depending on the settings that I use and the command that I use, I just have to click that particular command and it will automatically open up my template file. So in order to do that, I'm going to go up to the application menu in the upper left hand corner. I'm going to click once and I'm going to go to the options button. And in the options, you'll get this little pop-up window. And we want to make sure that we're in the very first tab of files. And I'm going to go down to template settings here and expand that. There's a little plus in a box. So I can expand those options. And move this up a little bit. And the third option, default template file name for QNew, right? So when we type QNew or when we say or click on new for a new file or to start a new drawing, then I'm going to hit the little plus sign and expand that. Currently there is none indicated, right? So this is where we can specify a brand new drawing. So with this being selected, I can go up into the browse, and should take me directly to your C drive where your templates are located. And I'm going to say ACAD and open. And what that does is that places that particular template file as my default for anytime I want to start a brand new file. I'm going to hit apply and OK. So now if I select new it automatically opens up that particular template file, which we entered in there. So I don't have to choose that template file. It's already there, and it says drawing6.dwg, so I know I have a brand new drawing file. All right, saving these files. All right, so I'm going to go back to drawing number 5 here. They're both empty, but I have two options to save. I have save and save as. Now, the difference between the two, really, you can use save as at any point in time. Okay, and if you're using save as, that means that you have the ability to change the name and also the file format and the file extension of your drawing. So if I wanted to be, let's say maybe a PDF or a template file or a DXF file, which is another file format that manufacturers love to use, works well with other programs, then you can do that. Using the save basically just saves the first time you use save. Let's do this. The first time that you use save, it allows you to save here in a drawing file, in a 2018 drawing file. It doesn't matter what version. There are several states of files. The one before that is the 2013 AutoCAD drawing file, and then 2010, 2007, 2004, 2000, Rev 14, and earlier. So you can see you can down save or save down to earlier versions. If someone is still using an older version of AutoCAD, you can save it down to that. So with the 2019, 2020 version, even 2021 version of AutoCAD, you can use the 2018 because that is the latest drawing file type. You can also save as a drawing standard file or a template file. I mentioned a DXF file. And again, you also have the latest DXF file, as well as the 2013 version, the 2010 version, and going down to R12. So most of the time you're going to be using the latest and greatest version to save at. So I'm going to keep this as a 2018 drawing file. The next thing to make sure of is where you're actually saving it. So we don't want to save any drawing files in our template folder. All right, that's not a good idea. So what we can do is I can go to either my documents or I can go to my desktop, and if I have a folder on my desktop, then I can go and save it there. So what I'm going to do on my desktop, I'm going to hit the create a new folder, and I'm going to call this AutoCAD files. There we go. And I'm going to double click on that. So here I am inside my AutoCAD files, and I'm going to save drawing 5 and just hit save. So now that I've got drawing 5 saved, up in the title bar it shows me, yep, it's on the C drive, users, desktop, AutoCAD files folder, drawings5.dwg. So this is my drawing file. And any changes that I make to it, let's say I draw some lines, you'll notice that on the tab there's a little asterisk, and that asterisk basically means that changes have happened and it has not saved yet. So once I hit save, and I can do that in the little diskette, and that's the first one, save, it'll automatically save that file and that asterisk goes away. Now my file has been saved and updated, so in case it crashes or I lose the file or something, I have this much saved. Okay. Now some people will ask, is there an automatic save? And the answer is yes, sort of. So in order to use the automatic save, you have to at least save it once first. And the automatic save options are in the application menu, going down to options, and again it's jumping on another window. And what we're looking for the automatic save is, let's see, open and save, and we are looking for